Hey everybody, it's Melinda here, and I wanted to pop in on this Friday. It's a beautiful day here, and I just got back from a walk outside, and I wanted to share some of the powerful techniques that I've been using to navigate these last several weeks. And I've just been really paying attention. A lot of people have been asking, like, how are you doing this, Melinda? What are you doing? And I thought I'd come here and share it. And it's going to be a longer post and a little bit longer video because there's a number of things that I want to get in here. Some of it might resonate with you, some of it might not, but I want you to research, like try things on that I might share, or maybe you already have, or maybe you just ramp up things. But most of all, there's a number of things that you can do personally so that you're taking care of yourself, so that you can take care of those around you and be there in your business. And well, there's just more of you to give because right now, it's taking a lot of energy just to get through each hour and each day. And with so much that's going around and so much uncertainty and everything's changing and we don't know what it's going to be like next week or in 2 weeks from now, like our anxiety, I'm a really positive person. I have a really good mindset and I am able to really lock in on that. But it's challenging. Even for the best of us, especially as coaches, most people turn to us to be that grounding force or to be the light that guides them through their challenges. And we got to make sure we're taken care of. And I know that I have been bouncing back and forth between a lot of different emotions. Like this morning I woke up and I was feeling, well, I was feeling grateful for the business I have, for the wisdom I have and the experience I've had over the years that allows me to navigate this time and better serve all of you and our clients. I was also feeling a little bit shredded, like just exhausted from this week, from giving so much and changing so much and pivoting so much and researching so much. And I was exhausted a little bit. There was some sadness in there. There was joy. Like there are some celebrations that's happening in our business, some of the biggest celebrations we've ever had. And all of that's happening at the same time, right? I kind of dressed the part today. I've got on my t-shirt because I kind of wanted to feel a little comfortable. I've got on my ripped jeans because I feel a little shredded. I've got on my spiky shoes because I was feeling a little sassy. And it's just like, how do we give expression to that? And that's what I want to share, some techniques that maybe you can use, because I'm hearing a lot of coaches say, look for the positive in things. Yes, there's a place for that. And there's a lot of darkness. Now, it doesn't mean we ignore the darkness and only see the light. It doesn't mean we get lost in the darkness and be consumed by that, because it's the reality. It's a both and kind of world. Like we need to feel everything that we're feeling fully. We need to move it through our body so that it doesn't get stuck there. And we need to keep moving towards the light. But it's a both and. We can't, it's not just one or the other, or else we'll feel like we're heartless, or we'll feel like we're discounting the situation, or we're not paying attention, or it'll just feel kind of funky. So it's a both and. How do you embrace the darkness and how do you embrace the light? And to the degree that we can do that is the degree that we can navigate this with some sort of peace of mind, some sort of confidence in the midst of the turmoil that's happening. And that's what I want to share with you today, right? Is that both and. How do you navigate that? So the first thing that I want to share with you is ramping up self-care. Now, what I'm noticing is that there's a few different camps. There's the group of people that are like, wow, I have more time on my hands than I've ever had before because I have to stay at home. I can't do all these things. It's like one of the benefits of what's happening with the coronavirus right now. And it's like, how do I use my time? But then there's this other group that's like, oh my gosh, I have no time. In fact, I have less time than I had before because now I have kids running around the house. My spouse is working, so I don't have enough time. And self-care must be at the top of your priority list for both of those groups. And I know for those of you that have kids running around at home, I know that those of you that have a spouse and you're trying to work from the same table and it's chaotic and you're not sure, you're tripping over each other, self-care will feel like one of the last things you want to do. And it is one of the first things you must do. So some things that I'm doing. I love spending time at my altar. I've got a little altar and I've got some prayers. I've got meditations. I've got some stones and crystals, and I've got oracle deck cards. And I love just spending quiet time in prayer, meditation, journaling my gratitudes. really brought that practice back, that every morning I make it a point to sit down. It doesn't have to take long. It might take 1 minute, it might take 5 minutes, and I journal my gratitudes. And then I sit down, and this prayer has been something I've recited every day for the past, I think, 3 weeks now, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. And it's the Serenity Prayer with a little add-on at the end. I just want to read it to you in case you don't have it. So it is a Serenity Prayer, and then there's a little extra something, and it goes like this. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Just kind of take a deep breath into that. Courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. And then I love this next part. Show me what I need to better serve your will in the world, and guide me forward with clarity, discernment, honesty, and love. Show me only a reflection of the truth. And I tweak it slightly. Show me what I need to better serve the greater will in the world. I like to just think about that as like, not just your will as this entity that's out there or mine, but like for the greater good of all of humanity. Show me only a reflection of the truth. And so I love saying that every day. It just causes me to take a deep breath, get grounded, and have a moment to collect myself. No matter what I'm feeling. If I'm feeling sadness, okay, I'm grounded in the moment, I'm present. If I'm feeling heartache, if I'm feeling joy and excitement, if I'm like, whatever it is, just takes me a moment to get present. And then I go to my Oracle deck. I love my Oracle decks. In the mastermind I'm in, this couple is in it, and I just started using this Oracle deck, and I've fallen in love with it. But it's from Colette Baron Reed, and it's the Mystical Shaman Oracle. One of my favorite decks. It is such a beautiful deck. And you can see like the artwork on it is stunning. And I love this deck. And I will sit there and I will just kind of ask Spirit for guidance. And this morning I was really feeling a lot of emotions. And the question I asked was, what do I need? How do I need to be informed about what all I'm feeling right now? Like I just wanted some guidance and insight. So I drew a card and reflected on that. And again, it just helps me to get tapped into the present and see beyond just my mind. So that's how I'm ramping up my self-care and nutrition. Everybody's working from home and everybody's joking about how they're eating crap food. And okay, maybe you need to do that and give yourself permission to it. But don't neglect your nutrition, because what you put into your body is what you're able to give out of your body. And if you want to be of service to your clients, if you want to be of service to your family, just really pay attention to your nutrition. And then at evenings, I'm taking an Epsom salt bath with some rose oil or some essential oils in it, just to kind of cleanse out all the toxins I've sucked in during the day while I'm stressing about stuff or working on stuff. And it's just, again, a decompression time. So ramp up your self-care. And I really encourage you, comment below, what are some of the self-care tips you're able to do in it? You might not be able to do all of them, but in a 1 minute time or a 5 minute time or a 30-minute time, wherever you can, what are some of the self-care tips that you have found helpful? And what I'm noticing is with all the kids that are at home, get your kids involved. I know one of the things that Dave and I have been doing, we sit in my office. I've got 2 chairs. We sit in my office in the morning and we just take a minute or two, not long. He's got his coffee. I've got my green shake, and we share gratitudes, just 2 or 3 gratitudes of the day. And then he goes to work because he's working from home. I stay in my office and go to work, and off we go. So get your kids involved in stating gratitudes. Get your spouse involved in stating gratitudes. So that's self-care. Ramp up your self-care. Now, another thing that I'm doing, I have a movement practice that I have been involved in for a number of years. It's called Koya. I won't go into all of what Koya is. A lot of you have heard me talk about it. A lot of you have experienced it with me. But Koya it pulls on the wisdom of yoga. It pulls on the sensual movement. It pulls on free dance. It kind of pulls from these different methodologies and modalities to bring together so that you can, and we can remember that through movement, it's like movement as a meditation. And through movement, we remember that we are wise, wild, and free, no matter what we're encountering. And I love this because it's a certain sequence of different phases of different types of movement to give expression to different things we might be feeling. And it's a way to move feelings and emotions through our body so we don't get stuck in any one thing, but we can stay grounded in our truth and keep moving forward no matter what we're encountering. And this has been something that has been so helpful for me. Now, usually they're in person. Now they're all virtual. They're all online, and I love how the Koi instructors are moving it to online. In fact, next Tuesday morning, Eastern Standard Time, let me just look up the time so I get that right. But next Tuesday morning, I'm going to bring my best friend, Lindsay. She is a Koi instructor. I went through Koi teacher training. She's the one who taught me. And we are going to next Tuesday at what time are we going to do that? Tuesday afternoon. It's a good thing I looked. Tuesday the 31st at 2:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to bring Lindsay here, and she is going to lead us in an abbreviated version of Koya so that you can move this through your body. So stay tuned for that. But that's, at the end of the day, how are you moving the energy through your body? How are you giving full expression through that? And when we can do that, we can hold the simultaneous emotions, the opposite ends of the spectrums, the grief and sadness and the gratitude and joy, and we can hold all that simultaneously. We expand our capacity to feel, to receive, and to give. It's a powerful practice. So I can't wait to bring Lindsay here to do a class for you all. We'll do it virtually, wherever you are. I'm going to do it here in my home office. You'll see me doing it. Lindsay's going to do it from her home office because obviously we can't get together, and you'll do it right from where you are. So it's going to be super fun. So I'm excited about that. And then another thing that I want to share with you is about your space and your environment. A lot of people are having to rethink their home office because they have a spouse or they have other family members that are now working from home or their kids are homeschooling, and we're kind of in this adjustment phase. And I spent 2 weekends ago, I completely rearranged my office. Now we took one of the old bedrooms and I've got my own home office, and it was beautiful before, but I completely rearranged it because I wanted a fresh perspective as we're going into this new time, because our environment is a reflection, and it's either a reflection of how we're feeling, how we're showing up in the world, or it can kind of fuel us with inspiration. And so I rearranged my entire office so that I could have a fresh perspective as we're diving into these unusual times. So I could think differently and see differently and tap into creativity differently and finding better and bigger ways to serve all of you and help you navigate through all of this. And then Dave came home and he's working. We had to take half our dining room, and now it's his home office. And so your space, the environment, it matters. Even though people may not see you, like you're probably only going to ever see this part of my office. And that's fine. Like most of the times, I don't think anybody's going to see Dave's office unless you go to our Facebook page and see the pictures. But even if you don't see it or others don't see it, your space matters. How you set your desk, how messy your desk is, how chaotic things are. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Right? If your space is chaos, you're going to feel chaos. If your space is organized, you're going to feel organized. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be inspiring. And the more your space can fuel you, the more you can serve your clients and do your optimal work and put your best foot forward in these times. So really give consideration to your space, your spouse's space, what your sanctuary is like at home. Even if it's messy with kids' toys and stuff all over the place, let it be intentional. Don't let it just be random and chaos. There's already enough of that in the world. Another thing that I wanted to share that I'm using to navigate this is how we're socializing. I think a lot of you are already doing it, kind of caught on pretty quickly. But even for introverts, I mean, my husband and I are introverts, and we love each other's company, so we're just happy as clams, just sitting here at the house doing our own little thing. And even with that, it's important to stay connected. So like our team is virtual. We have Zoom meetings once or twice a week. Different ones of us are on Zoom, connecting with each other. It's like checking in. What's going on for you? How are you doing? Any celebrations, any challenges we can help you with, and then talking business. And then like my dad and my sister and I, we're having these father-daughter Zoom chat. So of course we're texting and nonstop sharing funny stuff and questions and everything on text, but also to see each other is so important. So getting on Zoom or other FaceTime or things like that to stay connected. And then even if it's just like last night, Verizon was doing this really cool thing, this pay it forward thing through Twitter. Dave Matthews kicked it off. He's one of our favorite musicians. And Dave and I were sitting in the family room, and we had that streaming on our computer and we were watching it. Now, we weren't with anybody except each other, but we knew there were millions of people around the world all commenting. And so we were connecting, and we were connecting through the comments and connecting through that new way of being. And it's important. So make sure you're connecting in some way. And then the final thing that I want to share is how you're tending to your relationships. I know with Dave and I, we work pretty well, and we've got enough space here in our house that I can have my home office and he's got his space there. And we do a lot together because we love each other's company, right? And it's important to have your own space and time. So he might go out to the screened-in porch and do something while I stay inside and do something completely different. So it's important to have that time apart so that you can come back together. And that's one of the ways that you can tend to your relationship is make sure that you have boundaries in place. Like when my office doors are closed, he knows I'm working. Don't come in. If he does need to come in, it should be for a very good reason, not just a chit chat. And he's going to knock. And same for me. I knock on the wall before I approach him. But all in all, we honor each other's spaces. And it's important to educate. Like we sat down and talked about that. It's like, here's how we're going to work while we're both here. And so if you've got kids at home and you're homeschooling and you've got other people working from home and it's important to have those boundaries. Make a sign that says office hours. Mommy's at work from this time to this time, even if it's just for 90 minutes. But put office hours up. And do the same with your kids. If they're doing work, don't disrupt them unless it's necessary, but respect their space as well and tend to those relationships. So those are some of the things that I've been doing that has helped navigate this. Some of the tools that I've been using, but really the self-care and the Koya, those are my go-to tools that keeps me grounded so that I'm still giving of the overflow. So I'm handling my own fears. As leaders, as you all are, we have to make sure that we are in a good place so that we can be of service, right? And so we have to take care of our own stuff. We're human, right? You've heard me talk about this all week. We have our own fears and our concerns and our doubts and our uncertainties, but we have to handle that elsewhere so that we can then show up with our people, whether it's our family or our clients or our communities. And I want to leave you with this last thing that's really helped me. And that's it comes from the 4 Agreements from Don Miguel Ruiz. Have you read that book, The 4 Agreements? One of my favorites. Go back and reread it if you haven't. If you have not read it, get it and read it if you can. But one of the agreements is always do your best. And one of the things that I love is that it doesn't mean you're always striving for perfection, but always do your best right now, right? And my best today looks very different than my best did on Tuesday of this week. On Tuesday of this week, there was some kind of energy going through me, and I got 4 times the amount of work done in the same amount of time on that day. It was interesting. I was surprising myself. Today, not like that, but I am still giving my best. And so do your best, and remember that your best today might be different than your best yesterday. And my hope is that many of you will be able to find some kind of peace of mind and feel a little more sturdy in your stance and your groundedness, or a little more confident in the choices you're making with your business right now. And I cannot iterate enough. Like, if there was ever time when there was guidance needed and when we needed to do this together, like, this is it. Facing something like this is so big. And it's like when we can do it together, it's way more empowering than facing it alone. And I will continue to bring you resources and tips and information so that you can feel strong in your business. Next week, we're going to be talking a lot about, how do you put your best foot forward? How do you move on and offer services? How do you answer that question? Can I offer my services? Can I make an offer? Can people pay from what I'm doing? And how can we do that? So we're going to be sorting through all that stuff next week because I want you to feel confident in your business. So thank you. Take care of you. If you need to go for a walk, dude, if you need to take a nap, give yourself permission. If you need to dive in because you're ready to go gangbusters, go for it, whatever that is, but always do your best. I am here for you. We are here, my whole team. We are working diligently behind the scenes so that we can support you in navigating through this. But right now, this is not the time to isolate. It's not the time to retreat. It's the time to dive in and keep doing the work. Like, this is what you're trained for, people. The experience you have, the skills you've been trained in as coaches, as practitioners, as leaders, this is what you're trained for. And having this strong business is what allows you to keep doing it. And that's what we're here for. I love each and every one of you. I wish you safety and health and well-being. If there's anything we can do, reach out and ask, and I will see you soon. All right, everybody. Bye for now.